lot of interesting tips and a lot of interesting pointers. I want you to make a note of it. Third, feel free to ask questions. When I mean ask questions, not to barge in while I'm on the presentation, but make sure that you type those questions on the chat box or note those questions, and we will have an elaborate question and answer session. I can be online for the next 2 hours also to answer each and every question of yours. So make a note of your questions, and I will be around to answer all your questions. Finally, very importantly, participate. I can already see that you guys have really done a great job in the polls, and we will want you to be more and more participative as we are moving along. Okay, right, that's me. I'm the founder and CEO of Future Captains, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an erstwhile HR professional. Very importantly, why I am the speaker of the session, not because I'm an MBA graduate, not because I worked for Cognizant, Wipro, Hexaware, not because I'm an entrepreneur. I am doing this session purely because I've been there in the stage that you are in. I've been with a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, and I've started my career. And with that compassion is what we started Future Captains, and that is why I think I'm eligible to do this session for students like you, right? So that is also something. And also you will find my LinkedIn profile there. So if students, whoever is interested, please do connect with me on that LinkedIn. Okay, what do we do quickly? This is like, I want you to know what we are doing. First thing, we provide career guidance. And career guidance means a lot of students think that, sir, I've already chosen engineering. What is there to guide? No, because a lot of students don't know what kind of jobs are available for an electrical engineer, a computer science engineer. What are the different types of entry-level jobs that are available? So we give clarity to students, because there is a lot of competition that is in one space, and there is no competition in another space. So we know where we can position you properly. So that is why we are into career guidance. Now, we are into skill mentoring. You can learn a skill from a classroom session, an online video session, or by finding a mentor to teach you each and every nuances of a particular skill. And that is what skill mentoring is all about. We have mentors from different professions, very senior, student friendly mentors who will support young students in building their skills and also help them positioning themselves for jobs. Then resume and social media. A lot of people don't know that a lot of hiring that is done by startups, they don't even look at your CV. They look at something else. They look at your personal branding, right? I repeat, they look at your personal branding. If you want to connect to this, I'm asking you where you are active, and most of you are in Instagram, then on LinkedIn, right? So we will talk about that in a moment. And job search support, a lot of students don't even know how to go about doing their job search. And that is why we are here to teach you and give you a specific formula, very, very unique for you to find your job. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. Say, for example, there is a student who can really sing well, and they are also very passionate about engineering. How do I make sure that recruiters notice me, right? So we can come up with very creative solutions for musically talented engineers to find opportunities or get found by recruiters. So that is an area where we really specialize in, and that is why we are doing job search support. So those are the things that we do. And why this session? First of all, quick points. Higher education is not equal to getting hired. Definitely not. People who think that getting a degree is going to insure you from insure you from not finding a job or being unemployed. Absolutely not. You are going to face challenges, and this session is not about telling you how not to face challenges. It is all about how to equip yourself to face challenges, and that is what we are going to talk about. Second thing, easy life. Good school, good college, good job, good spouse, good house, good car, good children, all these things of good, that the entire chain of things that our parents always imagine of achieving never have achieved, right? The same thing is pushed on to us also. There's nothing called as a perfect life or easy life, and thanks to COVID-19, more so, there is nothing called as easy life moving forward, right? And there's a lot of things that we need to understand, that this is an age, okay, where our uniqueness is going to give us more opportunities than doing something that everybody else is doing, right? So easy life is not easy. Education is expensive. lot of students would be expensively investing in education. Like, they go to college and they invest 4 to 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 7 lakhs and everything. And then very few students, especially about 20%, 25% students actually see a return on investment, which means they are making money in a way that they can repay that educational investment that they have made. And what happens to the rest? The rest goes to, falls into the RTS and RTH bracket. And what is RTS? RTS is return to school and RTH is return to home. Right? Return to school is nothing but you think that the existing degree is no longer good and you want to go for higher studies. And that's one of the big mistakes people do today. And return to home, you're hopeless, you don't find job, so you sit at home thinking that somebody will knock the door and give you a job. And that is why this session is very important, to avoid such, dramatic situations in our life, to make sure that we see things ahead of time and be prepared for it. And very importantly, this session is all about how to compete globally, because your competition is not coming from Orissa, your competition is not coming from Kerala, your competition is not coming from Chennai or anyone. Your competition is going to come from China, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Cambodia, Philippines, Australia, US, New Zealand, all these places. Youth across the globe are going to compete with people. And thanks to internet, it's going to become more and more evident that whatever work that you can do from home is going to be competed globally. So that is what is all about. Now, coming to this very important question of what some of the social media platforms that you're using. I'm just going to share the results with all of you. Take a look at it. So most of you are actually 50% are using Instagram, 16% using LinkedIn, 47% are using Facebook, and 9% using TikTok. Now, a very important question that I would want to ask you guys is that, as a student, as somebody who needs to find an opportunity, where do you think you should be spending more time? Is it TikTok? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Or is it LinkedIn? Go ahead, type your answers on the chat. Where should you be spending time to find opportunities? Okay. Kamala Kamakshi is saying Facebook. Okay. Soundarya is saying LinkedIn. Saga Thomas, Facebook. Instagram, FB. Okay. Now, let me ask this question. If you don't know what you're going to do tomorrow, right? If you're going to find jobs, I'm sure most of you want to join a company. Some of you would want to go for higher studies and some become entrepreneurs. Now, keeping that in mind, right? Don't you think you should actually spend more time with, time with LinkedIn than elsewhere? And the reason why very few are on LinkedIn, anybody, any guess? Why very few people go to LinkedIn than Instagram, than Facebook? Any reason why? No entertainment? Fantastic answer, Ajay Kumar. Brilliant one. It is a professional platform. There is no entertainment. Okay. And that's a brilliant answer. Why do you think a professional platform is not enticing you when you're actually struggling to find a job right now, or you will be struggling to find a job in a year or two? The job market is not going to be easy. If you're going to spend time in entertainment, reading memes and looking at other photographs, what are you going to do? Right? So I'm not promoting LinkedIn here, so mind you, but I'm going to give you a very important insight about why students are not on LinkedIn and more are getting into Instagram. The biggest finding The biggest finding that we have found is that people don't know how to project themselves, right? Where because there is a lack of understanding of your own self, because of which you're not able to project yourself in LinkedIn. Whereas in an Instagram or on a Facebook, you can put whatever, I'm sorry for using this language, whatever shit you want and still get likes and followers, right? And I've seen very few students who put something that is sensible on Instagram to get the right part of, followership, like photographs, drawings, like, exhibiting your talent. That makes a very different thing. But then if you are going after a job, and if you are going after a job and if you want to get those opportunities, you should be seen where the decision makers are around. And we don't go to the place where decision makers are looking for talent. We go to a place where we are flaunting for followers and likes. And this shows what level of confidence we have about ourselves, right? And this is a very, very important topic for all of us to reflect upon, because yes, Instagram is great, Instagram is for youth, Facebook is for oldies. All those things are an utter bullshit, precisely because both are from the same company. And it is a marketing gimmick. And why Instagram? Who should use Instagram? Those who are selling products and those who have artistic talent, who want to create a followership, and who are in, say, acting, music, they want to exhibit their talent, they can use Instagram. That is the platform that they should go to. But people who don't have a creative talent, but they are going and spending time in following people or finding memes. That is an utter waste of time, where they should be spending time with decision makers, looking at what cutting edge technologies are coming up, looking for mentors, looking for job opportunities, looking for internship opportunities. And that is completely gone wrong, my friends. We have done a complete disservice to ourselves by spending our invaluable time in the wrong platform. And the simple reason, you can't create a content that could be liked by decision makers who are going to give you an opportunity. Period. That's what it boils down to. Now this next question for you guys: how important is career planning? Can anyone tell me, please? How important is career planning? How important is career planning? I spoke to you, I told about participation. If you guys don't participate, it won't make any sense to me. Otherwise, it looks like I'm talking to myself. How important is career planning? Career planning gives us idea. Okay, so whatever social media platform we are engaged with, we should exhibit our talents to be successful in life. Career planning, like a life without a vision, right? For a bright future is a roadmap for our future. Fantastic, Karishma. Right, all of us need a map, right? A map is not the actual travel. I'm sure you will agree, right? Looking into the map doesn't take us to the destination. It needs a plan, right? Knowing, for example, if I want to become let's say an entrepreneur, when I was working for a company, when I wanted to become an entrepreneur is a very umbrella term, right? And it means I have to know whether I want to be an IT tech entrepreneur, or I want to start some trading service, or I want to start from HR services. I will have multiple options. And this means when I have multiple options, just like your degree has, everybody have multiple options in our life. This means I have to choose a path to start traveling. And traveling means it's going to consume time, money, and effort. And to know which is the right path requires planning. And that is why career planning is very, very, very important, my friends. Right? Now, let me ask you this question. I'm going to launch a poll. I would want you to answer these polls. Okay, quickly. What confusions do you have in your career planning? Let's go ahead. I would want to see your responses. Go ahead. What confusions do you have in career planning? Come on, come on. We need quick answers, responses. We don't have all the time. I would want to make sure that all of you take away some key message today. And this means I would want you to do it fast. Lightning speed, my friends, lightning speed. Okay, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I have only 54% voted. I want more participants. I don't know what the other rest are doing. Stop sleeping, my friends. Time to wake up. Okay, another one more minute. I would want to give it. Well, somebody said a very beautiful statement, Kaja Mohideen. Career planning is the first step to live a happiest person. I think you have made a fantastic statement, Kaja. Beautiful. Okay. Should I give it a few more seconds? Anybody else who want to vote? Otherwise, I'm going to end the poll. Right. Okay. I'm going to end the poll. Let's share it, share the results. We have got about 38% who said, should I go for higher studies or for a better job, or what should I do to grow faster? Now, these two questions, okay, let's take the first one. Should I go for higher studies for a better job? Okay, and how do I decide that? How do I decide without knowing where I want to go? The simple question of higher studies, just by doing an MBA, thinking that an MBA will get you a job, and trying to prepare for your CAT exam and everything, and finally you get your placement also after getting into IIM, then to figure out that that job is not for you. A lot of us, I mean, I'm sure most of you are already thinking that engineering is not for you, and you are actually regretting that decision. I see that everywhere, right? Most of the time, students make a choice, then regret later. Now, the biggest problem that whatever that we are doing today is we are not committed to anything. We want to keep our options open. The biggest reason why we are always confused about, our career planning or choosing the right path is because all of us want to keep all our options open. We don't want to commit to anything. We don't want to go through the struggle. We don't want to face that small failure. We don't want to feel disappointed. We don't like to get insulted at all. We can't lose. How can I lose and post it on Instagram? How can I fail? How will I look into my father's eyes and tell him that I failed? Now, this fear of failure, fear of missing out, my friends, is the biggest reason why a lot of times we are making wrong decisions and we are confused about our career plan. Okay, so that's the important question that we need to answer. Okay, let's look at how the world has changed. And to begin with, civil engineers, thanks to them, they brought in a huge impact to this world. And since ancient civilization, they made sure that people were able to move from one place to another. So they laid bricks, they laid roads, they gave us palaces, buildings, canals, irrigation canals, dams, everything. All of that came from civil engineers. Thanks to mechanical engineers who are able to create, bullock carts to supercars, who helped us to make us mobile, who made us move from one location to another, right? And thanks to electrical engineers who made sure that power was easily available to all of us, so that some of us can communicate effectively, and some of us and many of us can automate our effort, and we can actually start, saving a lot of time and use that time for something else, right? and thus ended in Industry 3.0. We create some fantastic machines, systems, technologies that will actually, help us to live a high standard life. You know, for example, let's take this dish antenna, right? Most of the houses didn't even have a television. If somebody had a metro channel in 1990, they were seen as a super well-off, family. But today, almost everybody have, the Netflix or whatever OTT platforms, everything for us, right? Today, technology has become so democratized that all of us have. But now, the the problem is the human mind wants everything to be well connected because he wants to get more time, right? And thus came the interconnected devices, and that gave us to the four important technology revolutions in the 21st century, which is the social media platform, the mobile technology, the analytics, and the cloud, which is SMAC: social, mobile, analytics, and cloud, right? So these four technologies gave away, or rather introduced, made sure that every system, every human being is connected with the machine, and every machine is connected to another machine. So creating an interconnected system led us to Industry 4.0, right? And this is an era of multidisciplinary learning. It is not important if you know how to program. It is also important for you to know what is happening in the legal industry, or what is happening in the medical healthcare industry, right? You should have a domain knowledge. You should have a technical knowledge. Probably sometimes you need to have multi-technical knowledge, multidisciplinary knowledge. And how do we get that? And most of the educational systems or institutions doesn't even have that kind of a thought process, because it's not their problem. But sometimes they have to go through the processes that is set by UGC, AICT, and all these governing bodies. So their hands are also tied. So who is at a loss when you cannot adapt to the Industry 4.0 world? The student. And who is going to really feel bad when things are not working for you is your parents, right? And who is struggling to make sure that you are at least doing your best and giving your best shot? Your teachers, right? The institution, the teachers, the parents, everybody, every one of them are trying to do their best for their students. Tell me one thing: how many times we have seen our parents, especially our fathers, coming back from office and feeling so dejected? We don't know what insults he faced. We don't know what trouble he faced. They live in a life full of stress and agony purely because they have a family to raise. So they basically bite down every single trouble or challenge that they have, and they live in a life full of stress, right? There's a very there's also sad statistics that most of the men, they have this, they get in heart disease or ailments purely because of the stress that they go through at work. And why this is happening is because they were not prepared for the work that they had to do. So most of the time they choose a job because it paid money, and then when they got into the job didn't really give them the satisfaction. But then because of their family, the sons have to go through their education, the daughter has to get married, and all those pressures, that is forcing them to go through that. Take an example of our teachers. You don't know how many hours they need to stand and teach us, right? The amount of work that goes beyond. I have made fun of my teachers. I still regret why I have done that. All of us would have made fun of our teachers. But the life of a teacher is not easy. Most of the time they don't get paid as much as we want. Most of them, they're like a ladder. They make us climb over over themselves, and then give us the opportunity, right? This is an ecosystem that we are living in, my friends. And if you don't pay attention to self-learning, because everybody is trying to do their bit in the best of possible manner for you. So welcome to Industry 4.0. This is an era where the teacher, the parent, the student, the institution, all of them have to do their part. And student, your job is not just to be writing the exams and clearing your exams. It is also for you to self-learn and be prepared for the future, because your college is not going to run that fast as the industry is going to do. That's the reality all of us have to face. The demand and supply problem. There is one side, there's a huge queue that is waiting for a job, and the other side, there are companies that are waiting for people to come and join them. And what is this? The problem. This is a huge catch-22 situation. This is an irony. I need people, but I don't get people. There's another person who needs jobs, but they don't find jobs. because the job that you want to look is overcrowded, and there is a huge talent shortage in the other area. And this happens purely because you don't pay attention to what is happening in the job market. Why? Because you're not spending time on LinkedIn, you're spending time on Instagram. Sorry to say that, right? And because of that, you don't get market intelligence, you don't interact with people, you don't talk to experts, and because of which you come up for a big surprise, and very importantly, late realization. Remember this picture, my friends. All of you have to remember this picture, because 40 years of wearing a wrong sized slipper, do you think it's going to be easy? Do you think it's going to be a wonderful feeling? Absolutely not. It's going to pain like hell. And that's what our parents are doing today. Most of our teachers, faculty, they don't find a job elsewhere, and they come for this noble profession of teaching. Though they are not equipped to do it, though it was not part of their plan, they take it up purely because they want to do something worthwhile. I totally respect each and every teacher who have done that. Instead of doing something that is not really, noble, taking up a teaching profession and trying to give the best, it's most of the teachers will have this in mind, right? What I went through, I don't want anybody else to go through. And that's why most of them come into teaching profession, because they want to tell you that life is not easy outside. And they are like the messengers of reality, right? And look at them, look at your parents. This is something that we all need to be very, very clear about. Why this is wrong, Fed? Because most of the time we are trying to live our parents' dreams. And most of the time we don't want to speak out what we really want with life, because most of the time we don't know what we want. We don't spend time. We know that we want to get married to a beautiful girl or a beautiful boy. We want to probably go abroad for our studies. Probably we want to buy that best car, best gadget. We know all that. But we don't know what job should I get, or what work should I do for the next 40 years that will get me a good wife, good house, good husband, good car, good, everything. And we don't pay attention to that critical piece that is going to get everything else in our life. Labeling and judging. And see, nobody likes getting into a sales job, but there's a lot of sales job that is open. Nobody likes to get into carpentry or electrician work, because we see things that it's done by ITI professionals, people who in the lower strata. Farming, we don't look at it with a honor, right? We think it's for the uneducated. Education, my friends, is not about be doing something, super good in a research lab in an AC environment with a glass building. It is not that. It is all about keeping you confident, giving you a life skill, right? And a skill that can feed you forever. Wherever we go to government schools, especially girls schools, when the parents will be maids, watchmen, cooks in houses, their children will be studying there. And most of the time they will not have any plan of putting their children in higher education. They'll most likely want them to get married because their burden is off, especially girl children. I tell them very, very clearly that every girl should have education, because tomorrow we don't know what kind of challenge the girl will go through along with this kid. Because today most of the men are drinking and having a lot of wrong habits. We don't know what will happen to that family. So every girl should learn some skill so that they can sustain in their life. Now I'm asking you this question, my friends. What skill can you bring to the table when you get out in the market, and what skill can bring you money today? Do you have that skill today? Right? All of us need to know how to survive in life. Forget thriving. We need to know surviving. And learning some of these skills is not derogatory. It is very important to survive in this world. And more focus on outcome. Yes, I want to be an engineer. I became an engineer, but what next? I don't know what to do with my engineering degree. I go to a BPO job. I spend next 10 years there. I get all the disease to my body, and then finally I go spend the rest of my life in a hospital and with medicine. And this is what is happening to a lot of us. Blunders committed by students. Most of the time, we are spending time with the wrong friends. We are influenced by the wrong friends. Hey, I am in Instagram. I have posted this on TikTok. Why don't you share this with your friends? Why don't you come in, follow me? I have a friend who said, he got angry with me because I didn't like his Facebook post. At the age of 42, we have friends who don't like us when we don't like their post. Imagine your population. I'm sure most of you are already, having rift with your best friends, besties, because they didn't come and like, or they didn't comment on your post. And this is a wrong mindset, my friends. This is a very, very wrong way of living, right? Don't get influenced by friends. Entertainment focus, because most of you don't use LinkedIn because you don't like entertainment. You don't have entertainment on LinkedIn. Who said so? I spend time on LinkedIn purely because that is entertainment for me, because I get to learn about the market. Get to learn about what's happening, where I can make money, what skills, what is the future is going to be like, which companies are hiring right now. Do you know how many companies are actually growing amidst COVID lockdown? There are so many companies that are growing big time using this COVID-19. And there are so many companies who have lost their people because of COVID-19. So how, as I am as a businessman, how am as a professional, how can I survive in this market? That's the question that drives me to LinkedIn and keep myself updated. How many of us are reading blogs, business blogs from leaders? Wrong use of internet. I spoke about that in many moments. Careless attitude. There was time when I spoke to a student whom I asked him, like, hey, why is that your English is not good? And he said, sir, when I want, I will learn it, sir. Big deal. English thane, I can always learn. That attitude, that careless attitude of waiting till a job comes which requires you to learn English. I don't know what he had in mind, right? And that careless attitude is costing a lot of students, because when they come out in the open, when the family pins a lot of hope on them, right? Because the parent and mother and father, they'll be expecting their son to lift them, lift their family to the next level, so that they don't have to struggle any longer. Every father and mother will wait for their kids to grow up, and will wait for their kids to alleviate them from their poverty or debt or their troubles. And what is happening is we are all misdirected, because we don't know what we have to do. Cost of wrong career choice, as I told you, health. You will have poor relationship and unhealthy distractions. It can be alcohol, it can be drugs, it can be anything. It can be even video games, it can be PUBG. Most of us choose entertainment because we are stressed out. We cannot handle something that is unpleasant. Most of the time we don't like our education, we don't like that course, we don't like the college, we don't like to be in a challenging situation, and because of which we need a diversion. And what happens to the diversion? The diversion becomes mainstream, and where we need to go back and we have to start working on ourselves, we forget it. And that is what is happening. Okay, so what is changing with the world of work? Acceleration of technology. What we thought is going to take 10 years, 20 years to actually come into mainstream, it's going to happen in another 1 or 2 years. 5G, quantum computing, electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles, connected systems, intelligent systems, artificial intelligence, more smarter artificial intelligence, right? Which can actually predict your behavior, your cognitive technology, right? All these technology that was only in the labs are going to come into mainstream because of the virtualization, right? Most of us are going to work from home, and most of us are going to be replaced by machines very, very quickly, because whatever that doesn't require creativity, whatever that doesn't require you to think and solve complex problems, will get automated very quickly, right? And very importantly, we need to understand how human connect is going to change, because our travels will be restricted for some time, and people will start questioning whether travel is necessary for business purposes. So that is going to be the world of work in the future. Okay, keep a pen and paper handy, because I'm going to talk about something very, very essential, which is the 4 important values that you should have when you're graduating. First value is your personal value. The personal value is nothing but what you know about yourself. What are your strengths? What are your areas of improvement? What things that you can do repeatedly and produce consistent results, right? And what are your values and beliefs? What is your unique selling proposition? What is your uniqueness? You need to know that. And without knowing that, none of the other you'll be able to claim. So first thing you need to have is your personal value. Know about yourself. Second thing is to have intellectual value. Know what you need to learn so that you can bring social value and financial value, right? And intellectual value means utilizing, say for example, creating a blog, creating a video of your skill set. It can be, running a podcast, right? Doing a webinar. It can be anything. You have to start creating intellectual value based on your skills. And that, my friends, is missing out in many students today. most of the students don't even know how to create an evidence for their skill. And that leads us to the social value. Who knows what I know, right? Right? And who knows me and whom I know. Very, very important. What are the kind of people you are connected with? Are you connected with a senior engineer, a civil engineer, an electrical engineer in, say, Schneider Electric, right? Are you talking to them? Or do they know you that you are going to graduate next year and you will be looking for a job? And do they know that you have done an internship in a company in a particular subject? Do they know that you have done a project in a particular, domain which they want to evaluate and give you inputs on? We don't have any social value. We know only people like us, and we are just following each other on social media platforms. And very importantly, last is financial value. Who knows what you know that you know? Which means if somebody says, if you say that I know, say, Java programming, does the senior vice president of Cognizant Technology knows that you are very good in Java programming, right? That will determine your financial value, which means somebody knows that you're really smart, really, really ahead of your crowd, and they are going to get you the opportunities. And these are 4 simple values that will actually help the job find you, rather than you don't have to hunt for a job. And these 4 steps is something that is grossly missing in every student I meet. The future workforce is a workforce that is going to be specialized generalist, which means, I'm just giving an example. So it's not enough that you're a software engineer, but you should also know law. So a law plus software engineering makes you a unique composition, gives you a niche. So with that, you can target your companies and you can start working on how to plan your career. Right? Right. So why am I saying this? Because I totally believe that the future is exciting. I totally believe that the world requires unique people, not, sheep or herd who will follow blindly one another, right? And that is why we built Future Captains, because we want to help every student to, a continuous career support system to help students to pursue the road less traveled. We want to find what is unique with you and help you pursue what is best for you. And that is why we built Future Captains, right? And that's our company. That's my baby. I've been toying with this for the last 7 years, and that is why I think I'm here wherever I am, right? How can we collaborate? Very simple. To give you personal value, you can take up our career assessment. I'm sure most of you would have done a psychometric assessment, but this is slightly a different one, because this will help you to understand what motivates you, what is your personality, and what is your learning style, and what is your IQ. With this, we can actually scientifically arrive at what different career paths you can choose, and we can suggest what kind of roles and jobs that you can apply for. Intellectual values, we have student friendly advisors and mentors who can actually help you to learn the skill and also start digitizing your skills. That comes to social value. We have a portfolio feature on our website where you can start creating digital assets about your career, which means a blog, a photograph, a video, a text message, whatever it may be. We can start documenting everything and start putting it in our website, so that it becomes the repository of all your skills and talents. And that will help companies to actually identify and hire you. And finally, financial value. Know your market worth. And we, with our job search services, we help you know whether you're ready for the market. If not, we can identify what skills you need to pursue based on your personal value, intellectual value, and social value. We can suggest what kind of roles you can apply for and help you come up with a strategy to apply for the job. So all these are customized thing. So you will never compete with your friend, because you are going to be very unique with your ambitions, talents, and skills. And we will give you an exact roadmap that you can actually start using. Benefits of our self-mastery, right, is you can save months or years of waiting for the right job, because most of the time a lot of students, they spend months to wait, get the right job, and we can actually eliminate that wasting of time. And very importantly, we can fast track your career growth, because we project you to companies, employers to help you find an opportunity. And now with our approach, you get to work on a technical skill and soft skill at the same time, because you will develop holistically, right? There's no need that, somebody is going to tell you that, sir, you need to learn about time management and, or problem solving, because it will come as part of the learning process itself. And very importantly, we are going to teach you how to access the gig world for making money in this world. So tomorrow you might not get a full-time job, but still we can teach you how to survive in that market and still make money, right? And that is where we are completely different, and we can help you, each and every student, to pursue, right? And final points, we are, college degree is very important, but finally self-mastery is key, my friends. Without self-mastery, you're not going to really go elsewhere. You need to succeed in classroom. Yes, you need to get your marks, grades, everything, but you also start experimenting, and you need to start doing part-time jobs. You get into sales jobs, you go for exhibitions, do your part-time profession there. Try to meet as many people and pick up as many skills as possible. So try and fail outside the classroom as well. Buy experience, not education. You can buy a Udemy course. You can buy you can buy a course anywhere. You can attend a webinar, seminar, and you can get it. But you can never buy an experience. You have to go and invest in it. You have to go do volunteering. You have to go do an internship. Offer people to do some projects for them. And that is how you will buy experience. So tomorrow when you apply for a job, you can always proudly quote that, no, sir, I'm not a fresher. I've already worked for people, and this is my work experience. And how fabulous it will be if you can show that when you're in your first job interview. Degree is not a guarantee of job, my friends. It is an investment in the dream. And if you don't know how to use it, you are making a huge, huge criminal mistake, because you need to know how to use your degree. And easy way versus roadless travel, it's your personal choice. If you want to compete with many people, yes, absolutely, feel free to do so. Whether you like it or not, you will be forced to do that. But roadless travel, where there are less crowd and less competition, and where you will be the top 1% in your profession, I think that is something that excites me. And if you are that person who is looking for making a mark in this world and standing out of the competition, and if you want to make your parents, teachers, and your friends proud, my bet is on the roadless travel. So be yourself. Everyone is already taken. So I'm just giving you 2 success stories that we have met. So one on the left side, Prashant Tyagarajan. He's a student from Dindigul. He's a rural town. He's a rural student. He actually went through our process. So I'm just giving you the story. Very interesting, very inspiring story of the student. He was very good in chalk art. He basically carves chalk pieces, and he will make statues out of it. And when doing this, when I went to this college for doing a guest lecture, he actually showed me his model. And the model was nothing but a tractor, a TAFE tractor designed in a chalk piece. And I was fascinated. I asked him, like, did you show this to anybody from TAFE? TAFE is the company that makes these tractors, right? So he said, no, sir. Many people told me that they will take me to, meet them, but nobody has done it. So all I did was I immediately called a HR friend. I asked him, does he know anybody in TAFE? And he said, yes, he knows a friend, a HR executive, a junior person who is actually, working in TAFE. So I connected with that person and I said, sir, ma'am, this is like, the student is made some tractor. I just want you to call this boy and appreciate him, right? And you won't believe that lady sent this video image and, of the chalk piece to the HR head and the CTO of that organization. So 2 days later, I received a call from this chief technology officer, Shubha ma'am, and she called me and she said, Shobana ma'am, she called me and she said, Tamil, this is Shobana, and I just want to know if that boy can come down to Chennai. I said, yeah, he can, definitely. And I gave his number to them. And you know what? Within about 2 weeks, he was invited to Chennai, to the TAFE head office, and where he was gifted a 15,000 rupees cash prize along with an internship in their Vadipatti branch near Madurai. And today he is an employee of TAFE, right? See what your innate talent of designing chalk piece art and how it can actually fetch you an opportunity. There's a fabulous story that, we keep telling many students, because I think, we need to know how to use our talent. We need to know how to really learn how to use our talent. And what is the investment? If you want us to help you, the investment is very, very simple. You would have spent about 4 lakhs across 4 years, which means around 300 rupees per day is what you would have spent for your higher education. But for you to earn self mastery, the cost is just 3,500, and it's about 10 rupees per day. And that is all we are going to charge. And that is what it's going to take you. And it takes about 3 hours to actually get this done. This entire model is about 3 hours. And if you want to take it to the next level, we can give you more and more insight and more support that will help you to position yourself successfully and beat that competition and be yourself in the job market. Right? Final reminder, education and time both are expensive. It's your priority to make sure that you plan well ahead to avoid surprises. And thank you so much. The students who have attended the session will receive a career booklet, access to videos on careers in IT and manufacturing and biotech, and you'll also get a participation certificate. And please give your feedback at this link, tiny.cc/fcfeedback. And if you want to gift yourself a self-mastery, this is our contact number. Thank you so much. And I've also given the feedback link in the screen, so you can type the feedback and you will be able to, receive the certificate, career booklet and everything. Yep, I'm done. Thank you so much. And let's open the session for questions. I trust you all loved the session, and you got some knowledge about how to go about your career planning. And very importantly, I trust all of us can come together and make this world a better place, because I think students, aspirational students like you, will be the future pillars and the future captains of our world. And I would want you to join hands with us, and let's make this world a better place. And let's go ahead and open up the session for questions and answers. The students who come up with questions are the future leaders of our of our country, of this world, because let's face it, we are going to be global citizens and not just citizens of India. So let's open up ourselves and ask whatever that comes to our mind. You spoke specifically about engineering. What about other fields? Okay, can you make a specific question, Ashrita? Because when you mean other fields, what is exactly you want from me? You have to reframe your question. When a fully conscious AI comes into industry, what will it replace? See, the fully conscious AI is still a distant, dream. Though you might see bits and pieces of what people videograph in the lab, you might actually get fascinated by it, but it's very far from getting into the mainstream market, purely because AI is still a product of a human mind. So nobody has still, we still think we know ourselves, but we have actually tapped only 1% or 3% of our human brain capacity. So we still don't know what the human brain can do. And computer or technology is basically nothing but another representation of the human mind, right? It has the same component of a memory, retrieval, storage, etc. So it's just nothing but a replication of your brain. So people have not understood more than 3% of a human brain. So I don't think fully conscious AI is something that we will see in our lifetime. But if you see that, I wouldn't be surprised. Opportunities for English literature student. Hey, Ashrita, fantastic. Because you know what? Today, we need a lot of content. Everybody needs to create content for themselves. And today, people don't have time and they want somebody else to do that for them. So you can get into digital marketing. You can become an author. You can become a social media content strategist, right? And you can become a content SEO, content specialist. So there are many ways an English literature student can actually get into the gig economy and make a huge money and a great lifestyle in this area. So I wish you all the best, Ashrita. And if you want more support, we have mentors who are into the digital marketing space, and we can guide you, in getting yourself skilled. And in fact, if you are currently in college, within 6 months' time, we can actually help you set up your own, freelance business. That's the speed in which we can help you set up things for yourself. So do give us a shout. Yeah. When a science student joined MBA, what are the opportunities for his or her? Uh, Shweta, first of all, my question is, what is that your degree didn't offer that you have to go for an MBA? That is the first question you need to answer. And we will ask you that question. If you are coming for a career guidance session with us, and because we need to find out whether an MBA is really required for you, because we have to understand what you cannot do with your basic science degree. So give us, it's a very personal question, Shweta. If I give you an advice based on this question, I will actually make a wrong statement, and I don't want to give a wrong advice to people. So yeah, no advice is better. Sir, in the US, many non-complicated works like data entries, marketing, sales, and other things have been taken over by AI in some developed companies. No, 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 Sharon. Lot of things are still human intervene. It is not completely taken over by AI. That is a myth that some of these tech companies are creating. Things that have been taken over by AI is things that people are doing transactionally. Data entry, which means if you can automate a barcode, a lot of things you don't have to enter in things. So our retail stores have already automated that part. So don't confuse data entry in AI. AI is something, if you go into your Gmail, if you type a sentence, it will actually try to complete it. That is AI, right? And it's still not come into mainstream. Yes, it will come. It has gone into our homes in terms of mobile, in our TV, in our things. So it needs a device to exist. And I think marketing and sales is all human intervened, and it is a lot of thinking that happens in these jobs. I don't think AI can quickly replace human mind in these areas, right? Okay. How to deal with people who tease girls for choosing engineering? Give them a kick in their butt. That's all I'm saying. Kick them in their butt. Don't ever make anybody tease any girls for choosing engineering, because very simply today I think girls are 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 in every field, and I am very proud that I have Miss Brinda on this in this call, who is also a civil engineer, and who is actually very passionate about civil engineering and has been a teacher, right? And because of her, we've even got this session. So the thing is, those who tease girls, prove them, work on your content, stop spending time on Instagram, start spending time on LinkedIn, connect with leaders, connect with decision makers, connect with experts, and improve your knowledge. Tomorrow it all boils down to who knows you and whom you know. And when you know the big shots of this world, people who tease you will automatically bow down and will with respect, and they'll move away. So that's my answer to you, my friend. Will you please tell the good opportunities for financial students in MBA? See, I took up finance in my MBA, so I can definitely tell you a little about finance. So financial planning and analysis is a huge area that it requires a lot of business and financial combination. So a lot of people end up becoming glorified accountants when they actually do their MBA. But most of the time you don't know how to use financial data. So a course that combines uh, with the data science, finance, and analysis skills, I think there's a huge opportunity out there. Sorry, and a lot of these analytic companies and fintech companies, I think the doors open for MBA graduates who are specializing in finance. So I think that's the answer, Shweta. Yeah. Any other questions, my friends? Any other questions? See, if you have any personal, okay, let me tell you this. If you think that you need proper guidance, a professional guidance with experts and guiding you completely in your, job search and everything, our doors are always open. And, we charge you 3,500, and we can give you a discount of 20% if you are very interested. And if you want, you please, let us know in the feedback form, and we will be calling you for an explanation webinar on how these services work and how you can really help yourself in your career planning, and accordingly you can start investing in these services. Okay. um, so Sir, I am a postgraduate student in the fields of economics. I read various career guidance books, and my dream is to start up a medical care firm. Uh, okay, Medicare firm. Would you guide me? Well, we have healthcare experts. In fact, one of our key advisors are a healthcare firm. He runs two companies on the healthcare. He's incubating his company in IIT Madras Research Park. So if at all you need some support, brilliant. You come over. I can, if it based on your ability and interest, we can even check if we can put you on an internship mode with him. Right. So yeah, you don't have to raise your hand. You can start posting your questions. I am here for some more time. I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions, and I want to clear your doubts. That's my purpose here. So let's talk. Let's clear all our questions, and let's be let's go back home with a lot of clarity. And I want you to take this thought in your mind when you're going back, after the session, that the dream is to be a friend, philosopher, guide for every student. I want you to know that we are always there. You might not want to take up our service or our support at this point of time. You might think that it might be right now it might not require for you, but at any point of time, if you think that I don't know, I'm clueless, I'm struggling to find a right spot, that phone number that you have on the screen is the number that you need to call, and we'll be right with you. Right. We want to work with the dreamers, achievers, and aspirational youngsters. And our service is not for everybody. Our service is only for people who want to succeed in their life. So if you think that you want support, we are always there, and we will do our best to make you successful. So name of the webinar, you can choose career planning basics, and you can use that. Right. Any other questions? Any thoughts? Thank you, Sufyan. Thank you, Udaykiran. Thank you, Vinita. Let us know how you felt about the session. We all need appreciation. We all need to know whether we are doing the right job. I want to make sure that you are going back with clarity. Midula, you're a school student. Okay. Why don't you, why don't you call us up in the number, and we can probably, because I think the majority is college students, and okay, let me do this. So I'm sure there'll be some commerce student as well. So there are many opportunities. As I told you, finance, you can do your BCom, BBA, you can look at sales as a profession, marketing as a profession. You can get into banking jobs, right? Bank operations. You can get into insurance domain, right? You can get into financial planning and analytics, right? You can get into data science. There are so many things that you can do, Midula. So if you want to know on these paths how you can choose the best one, I think we have to do a one-to-one session to see how it can work out. Okay. Please talk to your parents. Don't call us directly. I want you to talk to your parents, and I want either your mom or dad to call us. We don't engage directly with our students, especially school students. That's a strict policy. Please talk to your parents, and if they think that we can be useful in your career planning, please do pass the contacts, and we will reach out to them. Thank you so much, Navjot. All right. I think you guys have been extremely nice to me, extremely supportive, and very importantly, I love this diverse crowd. All of you have been very participative, and very importantly, I think you made this day so beautiful for us. Yeah. Yes, Neha, we have a very beautiful video on for opportunities for biotechnology students. There are zillion opportunities out there. We will be sharing the feedback along with the feedback form. We will also share the video of opportunities in biotech. You can take a look at it, and I think all your answers you'll get it from that video. So just wait. In another 1 or 2 days, you will receive that video. Please watch it. Apologies. Now I'm doing my MBA, and I'm also preparing for NET exam. Shall I go with or not, sir? Siri, I cannot give you that, this, what do you say? blind advice. Well, that is a good career path because you are planning to take up teaching, services, So if you want, a proper advice, let's do a one-on-one. Give us a call and take down the number and give us a call, or rather, if you want us to call you, enter this question in your feedback form, and we will get in touch with you. Right, myself or Mr. Shiv from my team will call you, and we will take it forward. Okay. Okay, can I ask the coordinator from Anand Institute, Soumya Meenakshi, to actually to tell us whether we can take few more minutes or we are done. I would like you to
So
kind of
thank you
connect.
so much for this exclusive webinar, sir. I hope the participants would have gained knowledge and experience on their career guidance.
Sure. Thank you so much, ma'am. Kamala Kamachi, yes, we can come for your college. Definitely, yes.
Thank you, sir, for your precious time for giving your precious time for our participants and to us. The session was informative and it was quite good actually, sir. Thank you for your kind opens.
Totally. Thanks for the opportunity, Anand Institute of Higher Technology. In fact, I have a very interesting story I forgot to tell everybody. Can I have 2 minutes? I have a strong connection with Anand Institute. How did I forget that? My God. Okay. If you don't know, the first pilot project of Future Captains happened in Anand Institute of Higher Technology, right? And I met, Arivarike Madam, who is the director.
Yes.
I met her, and she gave me an opportunity to do a project with the MBA department. And that is how this entire idea of Future Captains happened. So Anand Institute is part of Future Captains history. The first institute that gave us an opportunity to actually, to do our experiment. And that it was way back in 2013 that we did that experiment. So yeah, 7 years later, I'm very happy to be back with Anand Institute in a very different format. And thank you so much for, I think I forgot, giving that information to everybody, but then, yeah, better late than never.
So, sir, actually, as you are an entrepreneur, so I want you as any session speaker for any entrepreneurship development courses, because if you help the students and the young generations to give the idea about the entrepreneurships in that particular domain, it will be quite helpful for us and for our college also. So we'll plan for this in
please
future,
feel
sir.
free. Anytime, please feel free to call me, and I will be.
Because last couple of months, actually, we are looking for any active entrepreneurship speaker that who can teach the students and can direct the students in that particular domain and the future of entrepreneurships as well. Because a lot of the students they're getting trapped with some emotional conditions that they may not get success if they come in this domain. So I need some that active speaker or that those who are really entrepreneur to share their journey, how they got the success, particularly for that domain we'll plan for in future.
See, as I mentioned in one of the slides, everybody have to be an entrepreneur today. There's no other way. We need to learn how to sustain without a job. And that is why it is very important. We have, in fact, a material to actually present to students on how to, actually start their own venture, right? And we can also provide a complete guidance to students in how they can set up their own freelance venture and how they can start making money quickly, how to market, how to sell, how to actually start projecting themselves, right? And all those things will definitely we can do. But let's do this as a a proper focused workshop, because I cannot cover that in 1 hour.
Exactly.
It has to be a proper training program. So if you have any thoughts of investing in a training program like that, I'm more than happy to actually come and do it for us.
Exactly, sure. So we'll discuss these things that later after completing this webinar we'll discuss. Kindly just help us to conduct.
Definitely. I'm more than happy to come and do this for Anand Institute. Definitely.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, students. Thank you for this lovely, start of the day. I think all of you have been extremely kind and supportive. So stay safe, and let's fight Corona together. with the same human spirit that has fought many wars in our in our in our history. So let's face this time and let's emerge successful. Yeah, thank you so much. And I'll wait for a few more minutes, and if you have any other questions, I will try and answer that. But others, whoever, if you think that you've done, please leave a nice comment for me, whatever you think, and then you can leave the session. I can also enjoy these good feedback thoughts, that we receive. Any other questions, my friends? Oh, thank you so much, Guru. Thank you so much. I mean, thank you so much for this session. You made my day. I don't know. I've never received such a best comment in my life. So thank you so much for that lovely, kind comment. Thank you so much. Yes, Sarita, the credit goes to Anand Institute. They had this mind, the heart to conduct the session. So I give it to them completely. The credit goes to them, and to Miss Brinda for, kind of coordinating for on behalf of us and getting this session done. So yeah. Thanks, Vishnu. Thank you so much. Chandana is asking, sir, where are you working? I work for Future Captains, and I'm an entrepreneur. So I work for myself, and I work for you as well. So thank you for your better guidance. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Shweta, so yes, definitely. How to become an entrepreneur? Well, it starts with a lot of passion. You should know how, you should be willing to fail, and you should have resilience. You should be committed to your idea. And very importantly, when you are facing uncertainty, you should know how to survive uncertainty. And this will all happen only when you jump into the swimming pool. It is like, entrepreneurship, unlike, it's not like, you can stand outside it and you can start guessing it. You become an entrepreneur only when you start facing failures. So becoming an entrepreneur is a transformative process. And, that only, we can probably explain. I can talk about this for a week together. That's so much of learning there as an entrepreneur. So plan to become an entrepreneur. The first step is get an idea, then the rest will follow. And yeah, let's talk about it. You have my number, Shweta. Anytime, feel free to drop in a WhatsApp message, and love to discuss this in detail and see if we can do something. Shanmugamani, carpenter. Hey, brilliant, man. I mean, I'm really surprised that you said that, because the first time I saw something like this, yes, there is a lot of opportunity in furniture business today because of home furniture. So you as an engineer, if you get into the furniture business, use your engineering design skills. You can even come up with your own furniture design studio. Today, a lot of companies require different types of furniture designs. So if you are inclined to design, you can use your degree and your design talent in the furniture business, especially using your carpentry. So there are a lot of interesting businesses out there. Okay, thank you, guys. There are still about 40 plus students still, they're contemplating. If you have questions, let's ask. Okay, that's a very good question, Chandana. Are there any jobs in the foreign countries? See, right now, The travel is going to be difficult, at least for the next 1 year or so. But then, because there's a lot of need for technical workforce abroad, and most of the countries are having aging population, Japan, continental Europe, a lot of these countries are having aging population because their population did not grow. There's a lesser number of younger people than the older people, and that is where I think all of us can find opportunity. Because if you are really good in your technical skills, and if you have a domain skill, multidisciplinary knowledge, I think tomorrow, and plus if you have a foreign language skill, I think you can work in many parts of the world today, right? So I think that's going to come through, and that holds good for finance students as well. So it doesn't mean that it's everything only for technical students. Even for finance students, I think you're going to have a lot of opportunities out there. Karishma, why about NASA? What about ISRO or Vikram Sarabhai Space Station? There are a lot of institutes in India. So I think let's talk about ISRO. Why NASA? You will definitely find, because definitely everything requires a structure and different composition or architecture. So obviously there's a lot more space exploration that's going to happen in the near future. People are talking about moving to Mars and mining in the moon and things like that. So obviously I'm sure there's a lot of opportunity in the space business. So yep. Shweta, laboratories business, I'm not sure because I don't have a laboratory business. That requires a specific detailed planning. I don't know. That's a very, what do you say? I would say very focused question that can only be answered by an expert. So if you are very serious, let's take it forward. Ratnapriya, again, a very a very vague question. What course in engineering is best? That's not the way we look at career. Let's ask this question instead of asking what course in engineering is best for nowadays. What course in engineering that I would love to pursue for the rest of my life? Let's ask that question. And if you get an answer, well and good. If you don't get an answer, we can talk. Yes, Kaushik, there's no doubt. We have to use our skills in making India a new concept hub. We have to come up with innovative ideas in India. And I think that is something that we have to be prepared for. India will need a lot of talent. And if we are ready for the next 1 year, within 1 year, if we get ready, I think we'll all have a fantastic life ahead. Because once the market bounces back, all of us will have a great future. Yes, Vidyakiran, definitely yes. Let's talk about it. You have our email address, and please fill in the feedback form, and we will definitely get in touch with you. Let us know how you want to contribute, how you want to be, how you want to intern with us, and we'll take it up from there. Okay, I think we are going to hit. Himanshu, how hospitality industry is facing big loss. Yes, it is facing a big loss, but they all have to survive this crisis. So once the market opens up, once this COVID-19, once we start learning to live with coronavirus, I think all of this will open up. I think it's all momentary. Just like how the salons are closed, I think most of the time it's all something that we have to, it's a lockdown that is going to be temporary, not permanent. So that loss, everything they'll bounce back. And I think the government is also giving out a lot of shops and what do you say, they're trying to revive the economy. So somewhere I think they will find their way back into the market. Thank you, Soumya. Thank you so much. And Love the session. Thank you so much. The students have been very kind. And I really enjoyed interacting with the students. And I'm looking forward for more sessions with Anand Institute of Technology, because I think my line with Future Capital started with, with my first experiment with AIHT, and I think that has a lot of connect with the institution. So I'm looking forward to coming back to AIHT very soon. Thank you, guys. Thank you, girls. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay at home, and very importantly, take care of each other. And let's bounce back very soon, right? And good day to you all. So I'm officially ending the session. And if you have any questions, anything, please feel free to call us, email us, whenever you want. And we are happy to, take things forward. And I'm committed to helping each one of you. And I would just want the same reciprocation from you as well. Yeah. Shweta, anytime. Midnight also we'll answer your queries. We are always available for students. Sure, Samya, I'm looking forward. Anytime, call us, Shweta. I think I told you that. And Navjyoti, thank you so much. Excellent session it was. On behalf of Anand Institute of Higher Technology and Future Capital, I need to thank all of you. Wow. Okay. Okay. Thank you. And let's all see ourselves on the other side. I think.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Let's get it done. Thank you so much, Navjot. Good day then. Bye.